Why is it that I can take a child into a cinema? I can show them James Bond murdering hundreds of people, running them down with machine guns, twisting their necks until they snap, and nobody bats an eyelid. Yet, if I, in front of you all now, were to drop my pants, I could be arrested. Arrested for my natural, normal human body. The most common classification for a James Bond film is a 12A. Any child over 12 or any child with an adult can go in and see that film. But any film with explicit nudity in is restricted to over 18s only. What values does this teach our children? Surely it's that violence is okay, but we should be ashamed of our own bodies. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests, is this a world we want to live in? A world that says yes to violence and no to just being us? A world that oppresses us just for being who we are? I think we should take a more rational approach to nudity. There are three main reasons I believe this. Reason number one, nudity is perfectly natural. We all come into this world kicking, screaming, and naked. We all have genitals, our parents, our grandparents. These are nothing to be embarrassed about. Every other species of animal lives out their entire lives being naked. Early man was naked. The ancient Greeks would be nude when socialising, exercising, and even competing in the Olympics. Even in the modern day, the rest of the world can't understand our squeamishness when it comes to nudity. In Finland, you wouldn't dream of wearing clothes in a sauna that you would share with family, friends, and strangers. This is not some kind of genetic accident, even in my case. This is just a natural, normal human body. Nudity is perfectly natural. Reason number two, nudity doesn't actually harm anybody. Ask yourself, what damage would actually be done if I saw someone in the street naked? The answer, of course, is none whatsoever. Nobody gets gunned down, nobody gets their neck snapped. It is perfectly harmless. In contrast, having this taboo against nudity really does damage our society. It restricts our freedom to go out there. It is a form of control over us. It makes us sweat it out on hot summer days, and it makes it easier to hide domestic violence. It also causes untold social problems. It is a tax on the less well off. The average person spends £1,100 a year on clothing. Kids getting bullied at school because they can't afford the latest designer wear. Seeing someone naked doesn't do us any harm. The best you can say is that it causes offence, but really we just choose to be offended because we have this taboo. If we see someone in the street naked, we will choose to be offended, but if we see our partner naked in the bedroom, we'll choose not to be. Well, that doesn't really make any sense. It must all be in our heads. Nudity doesn't harm anybody, but the taboo against it does. Reason number three, nudity gives us confidence in our own bodies. We live in a world where we are taught to hide our imperfections. We must cover up everything about us that is natural and normal. Women are taught from an early age that they must hide any of their imperfections. They must push things up, pull things in, and hide any blemishes on their face with layers and layers of makeup. Once they've done this, they must squeeze into constricting corsets, hover on high heels, and not touch anything for fear of breaking a nail. I put it to you that this is nothing short of oppression of women, consigning them to hours and hours in the bathroom, because we can't bear to face the reality that human bodies aren't perfect. A study by the clinic Specialist Makeup Services revealed that the average woman spends 474 days of her life applying cosmetics. That's 3.5 hours a week. Eye makeup alone takes an eye-watering 17 minutes before a night out. Why should they be sold into such slavery of having to go through these tedious routines, merely because we can't accept that the natural human body is imperfect? In summary, I believe nudity is perfectly natural. I believe that nudity doesn't harm anybody. I believe that nudity would give us confidence in our own bodies, confidence that the taboo takes away from us. We live in a world where kids commit high school massacres but are too embarrassed to talk to their parents about safe sex. Is this a world that we want to live in? We must trash the taboo. We must slay this fear of the flesh. We must take a stand and say, this is who I am, and I am not ashamed. Mr. Toastmaster.